Don't be a hero with
In the
Madam
morning.
Forrest. Don't be a hero at 7 a.m. Oh,
In the
don't
morning.
be a hero. It's nice and early. Come on
Yeah.
and have your breakfast with us. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling fresh, Matt.
Oh,
I'm
good.
I'm feeling fresh because I have not washed.
We've literally rolled out of bed for this episode because it's so important.
We're
What
just
an episode.
too excited to not speak about this episode, which, in all fairness, is about 80% true. So,
Yeah.
We're how you been anyway?
I'm good. That was probably the most tuneful intro, by the way. That was gorgeous.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. You know, summer's kind of now feeling a bit more summery with the weather, which is great. But also the bad side to it, and I think this is why it was so easy for me to get up this morning to do this. It's because it's just so bloody hot when you sleep at the moment. It's
It is
bloody
disgusting.
awful.
We have, and this. I've just realised I haven't got my light on, so that's gonna.
Oh, there she
there
is,
we
there
go.
we go.
Yeah, there she blues. For everyone at home, this makes no difference at all. But I've just turned the light on my face. So. Anyway, long story short, yes, it has got warm at night, but we invested about a month ago in an air conditioning unit, which is now because we are in a loft conversion.
That must be very
and
warm
it is
there.
very, very warm up there. But this unit, oh my god,
So is this like installed, or is it just something that is just plugged in?
just a plug in and play job. But the only issue is you have to put like the filter outside the window, and because ours is just a plug in play job, it's lit. We just got this huge hose hanging out the skylight.
Oh, one of those things.
It's not the most like beautiful looking things, but Christ, it works. It's like from the outside, people are like, "What the fuck?" But it feels incredible at night, and it does definitely work. So yeah, not too
Well,
bad.
if you are a business out there that's looking for some sponsorship that have AC units, we are the people for you right now during this hot summer's
Oh
period.
yes. Oh my god, we can even practice like doing the advert.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so stuffy at night.
Oh, it's so hot. Oh.
Well, don't fear no longer, Matt, because there's a fix, there's a solution. Go and get Andy's aircon units, Wrexham.
Hello, Teach. Good morning.
We got a little guest.
Yeah, okay, we'll put it under a tap then, yeah? There you go. Sissy's got you. There we are.
What's sad about that is Matt was speaking to me.
So there. All right, sweetheart.
Yeah. All right, mate. Just run it under a tap for us. Go around it.
Oh, gosh.
It's good.
It's going to be like this.
This
So,
is
you
going to
know,
be the
this is
joys of a morning
podding.
podcast.
Exactly. Podding during the morning routine.
So, so prepare for yourselves, everybody, for the funnest hour of life. And what's great is, for numerous reasons, we don't have a lot of time to edit this episode either. So basically, whatever happens goes on the most part.
Oh,
If
yeah.
something
Yeah.
fundamentally fucks up, you won't hear it. But on the most part, this could be an awful 40, 50 minutes. But
This is going to be one hell of an episode. I mean, and this is, to be honest, for that reason, but also for the reason for the episode. So, dear listener, welcome back to another podcast, and welcome back to the final episode of The Boys, Season 4, Episode 8. Let's roll this intro, and let's get straight to it.
here we are. What an exciting episode. I think all in all, my summary will be the finest boys episode ever.
Hands down. Hands down.
I'm laying it down. I'm laying it out there. Best episode ever. Lots to talk about. Lots of like a roller coaster of emotion, a roller coaster of plots. Not without some minor like gripes, but on the most part, Matt, I think you'd agree that this is an absolutely fine piece of TV.
It is. Bye, sweetheart. It is hands down. I got to say, and I said this to you on a voice note, literally seconds after watching it. It's got to be one of the best finale episodes of a season that I have seen since like peak Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I think that's saying something. And it's slightly ironic that one of the people that made it peak Walking Dead is in the show now, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But like that is, I mean, it was just on every level. I would say 98% level, every level. It was absolutely phenomenal. It made up what I would say a rocky season for the boys. But to be honest, they probably had to do a season like this in order to build up to the finale season, which will be season 5. Yeah, mate, weren't it good? Weren't it good?
Oh, it was good. And we have got, between us, it was 1-1 in terms of correct theories. So me and Matt have both got a theory correct in this episode. I remember when I saw mine, I went absolutely apeshit. And I can only assume that when Matt's one was right, you were looking at the screen like, oh my God!
I did the whole Leonardo DiCaprio meme where pointing at the screen. I did exactly that.
And we'll talk about that moment specifically, but I didn't think that scene was going the way it was. But that's incredible.
Do you want to hear my reaction to the ending moments? It's only just a sound from me, so it's not going to give anything away. But Rachel was in the other side of the room while I was watching it, and I was screaming. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, yeah.
There's the legit reactions from me there. It was that good.
Amazing.
It was that good.
So, I think the first thing to talk about, and it happens right at the beginning of the episode, is we only see in this episode, and it's only by a little video clip, 5 seconds of A-Train. And that is Vought announcing that A-Train's project has been cancelled. And then, to quash most fan theories, A-Train wasn't there at all.
He wasn't there.
In the
Where
whole
is
episode.
A-Train? What is A-Train doing?
What is he doing behind the scenes? Is he with Maeve?
I think he's either in peril or he's plotting, and he's gone away, he's escaped, he's got out, and he's trying to find Maeve, or he's rounding up some people that we might not know of yet. I don't know. But do you know what? In that bit when they talk about the cancelled movie and stuff, that was and this is the other thing. This episode, they do so many quite clear jabs to or references to real life things. And again, obviously, with the assassination attempt on Trump very recently, they had to put a disclaimer at the episode of this one, at the beginning of this one, saying that it had no connection to it. It was filmed years before it. But like, you know, so we had the assassination attempt in this episode, but also with this episode, on a pop culture standpoint, that was such an address to the Batgirl movie, wasn't it? The fact that it was kind of like we're just mad to think that we have a modern Batgirl movie that's within the universe of Michael Keaton's version that just we ain't ever gonna see.
Yeah.
Do you know that's mad? That is mad.
Yeah.
Like complete movie that we'll just never see. It's really sad, but like, yeah, that was that. I thought that was. I immediately was like, oh yeah, that. And also, didn't they do in that bit the
All Lives Matter.
All Lives Matter thing, and that was word for word a complete juxtaposition to what actually in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just to extend your comment about the assassination of it, there was a disclaimer. They also had to change the title of the episode. So the title of the episode actually got removed. It had the word assassination in it. I can't remember the full name of it. But it was, I can't remember. It had the word assassination. They got rid of it. So this episode is actually now formally called Season 4 Finale. They just completely got rid of the name of the episode.
Wow.
Because it was too true to life at what had literally happened less than a week before the episode came out. One of my favourite quotes in the first few scenes, and they were like, it was like they were getting all of the kind of real life events all done within those few episodes. Because, like I say, you got Batgirl, then you had All Lives Matter. Then they were talking about how they were going to bring in, I think it went to the Senate, and it was the Speaker of the Senate was talking about how the votes for the new president will work, right?
Yeah.
And one of the lines I heard was, "We will count the votes in an orderly fashion with no debate." and I don't know. It was like a blink and you'll miss it moment. But I don't quite know if they just if it meant like literally like we don't have time for a debate, but we're doing the vote. Or what I'm assuming they're doing is it was a piss take, and it's like there's no debate, Tom.
Completely.
But it just made me laugh. There's no debates, no comments, no time to come have actually any arguments as to what you're doing. Just come and vote, piss off. So yeah, it was a nice clip into American democracy. Also makes me think whether there are any scenes that they couldn't broadcast. A, because of the assassination, but B, because we are in obviously. A year where they have got to vote in their president.
They have got an election coming up. That's very true. I do feel like there must have been either at least written plans, or they did film things and it got cut out. But again, I tell you what, I wonder whether they're now going to have a little bit more of a wary eye on how to do these connections, because they do. Part of, I'd say, the boys' fabric is that they do share a light and shed a light to us, in terms of what happens in real life against what happens in the Vought world. I wonder with what's happened recently that they kind of are going, oh, Amazon aren't going to be happy if we do this. I wonder if there's now going to be kind of more of a mediation or moderation through it. And if that does happen, and if that is the case, that will be a shame, because it's like, all the fears we had when Deadpool joined the MCU, we're going to go, oh, Disney's going to mute Deadpool. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm hoping they'll keep going with it, because that's what's so fundamentally The Boys, is that they just kind of reflect us on real life. Yeah,
absolutely. It'll also be interesting about that argument, depending on which president gets in. I would suggest that potentially Trump might not be quite so happy if there were some mocking of said leadership. But who knows? You would hope that censorship.
Maybe he's a great boys fan.
It's not
Maybe I love it. The boys.
I love it.
I love The Boys. It's great. It's fantastic. It's great. Well, I thought to myself, if I had some Tempeh, I'd put it in me. I know what, actually, I don't need Tempeh. I've already got all the V I need inside me, all right? People say I already am a superhero, I'm invincible. You know, I'm actually invincible. I'm actually the first person on the earth to be invincible. You know, so I don't need sympathy. I am V. I'm like the catalyst of V. The people that created the boys, they came to me and they're like, "Hey, look, I want to be like you. I want to create a comic about people like you. Me, what a superhero, yeah. I'm totally the superhero. Totally the first superhero in real life. You know, it's great. It's fantastic. You know, so yeah, the boys. I am the boys."
Your Trump turns into Robert De Niro.
It does, doesn't it? It moved into something a little bit. Hey, yo.
Hey, come on now. What's going on? Yeah, but yeah, absolutely, probably his response there. I think what we should talk about next, rather than going through the whole episode, let's talk about the main plot that we see next, which is Annie, Hughie / Starlight Hughie. It's
yes,
big old plots, and I have to say, Erin, who plays Starlight,
Moriarty,
big clap for Erin. Some
Absolutely.
fantastic acting, fantastic scenes. It was just beautiful to watch. We were starting to see Hughie slightly click in the flat, that things might not be quite so normal. And then we get an ultimate scene of shapeshifter Annie versus real Annie having a conversation with each other. And I think I messaged you this at the time, Matt, but I think that is the strongest Harley Quinn audition we've ever seen, mate. Like,
I mean, it was the strongest bit of acting that she's done in The Boys as well. Like that was hands down. So it was when it was the scene between Shapeshifter and Annie when she was locked up. It was she performed those different characters so well and so believably. From immediate effects, we knew that was a completely different person. The way that it was delivered, the way that it was played, and yeah, like God, she was fucking great at playing somebody who's evil and also just kind of cunning, just manipulative. Also quite scary, but like, yeah, mate, it was definitely Harlequin vibes. She was absolutely fantastic. And this is the other thing, and I will say this, is that she has been given unnecessary hate online and social media. And obviously, because we talk about The Boys, we've been doing lots of boys stuff. Our Instagram feed is very boys heavy when we kind of like doom scroll and stuff. And there's so many hateful comments to her. And it's just so unnecessary because that there, I believe, and I want it to be a massive middle finger to those people because that is just showing how good she is as an actress, as a performer, fucking deservedly so as well. And this is the thing, like she in that even in that same vein, she kind of put herself up there with the echelons with Anthony Starr's, Homelander performances that everyone's raving about, deservedly so as well. But like, she just went straight up another level in that scene, especially in this episode. I am now so incredibly invested in what's going to happen next for her.
Absolutely, I concur with everything you've just said. I kind of hope that, and I don't think it would be a main role, but knowing how the likes of James Gunn operates, I would not be surprised if we see Erin or someone from The Boys actually do a genuine superhero transfer and get into the DC universe, just purely because obviously brand new universe. It's James Gunn. James Gunn likes to go with like no names, like or not no names. That's a bit wrong. But names are slightly new. You think about Chris Pratt, basically. He took Chris Pratt just as Chris was really coming up the chain with Parks and Rec and really making a name for himself. And I think that's what The Boys has done to a selection of the actors in this show. Which then takes me, Matt, very nicely. I'm not deviating too far away in case you had a point to raise. But Hughie, I did not realise, and I can't remember, what's the actor's name? I can't remember the actor's name. right off the bat.
Oh, Jack Quad. What a name. Jack Quad.
Jack Quad. Do you know what other famous franchise Jack was in before this?
Famous franchise. I'm going to say the X-Men.
No.
Go on then, what?
He... all right, man. Calm down a little bit.
Fucking tell me. Forrest.
Was it
fucking tell me.
Well, fucking no.
I've had my coffee now.
Me and Soph have been working our way, and don't know why, but we thought, why not? Been working our way through the Hunger Games movies, and Jack features as one of the members one of the tributes, I believe they called it, for one of the Hunger Games. And I exactly the old posy three fingers, which in the boys that would be
just so you know, he didn't
but...
do the three fingers for the Hunger Games. He did something very different.
Is that not it? Is that two in the tribute, one in the capital? Is that not two in the district, one in the capital? No. Oh my god! Yeah, apparently I was watching pornographic version of the Hunger Games. It was, Jack was immense in it, though. Yes. So Jack. Anyway, cool story. There's no coming back from that. Yeah, Jack was in the Hunger Games. It was great. He looks very young in it, and I was like, hang on a minute, is that? Yes, it is. It's him.
Actually, now you've got me really interested. What is his age?
Can I take a guess before you find out?
Okay, go on.
I reckon he can't be any older. I think 33, 34.
Oh, that was really close. He's 32.
Oh, I'm happy. 33 being the first guess. Oh, I'm happy with that. Bish, bash, bosh. Just look at everybody's ages now. Do you do this, dear listener? Every now and then, I just kind of go through a little, ooh, how old are they? Erin Moriarty. I think Erin's going to be younger, right?
Oh, she's 30, yeah.
Amazing.
Let's guess the name of Victoria Newman.
Guess the name? Good. Guess the age.
Guess the age.
Guess the name of... she's got to be a bit older, I think. I'm going to put her 36, 7.
Oh, if she ever listens to this, she's gonna hate you. She's 32, mate, she's 32, but she's also going out with Jack Quad in real life.
Shut up!
Yeah, they're actually a
Huey
thing.
and Newman. So,
yeah.
every time they share a little scene. Oh.
Yeah, do you know what? And now knowing that and watching them having their little scenes and stuff this season, I was like, yeah, you can see that, you can feel that little chemistry there, that little flutter there happening, because every now and then you kind of go, that's a relationship that could happen. If Starlight and Huey just broke up, like Newman and Huey, definitely. Yeah, they're going out in real life.
Wow. And
real life cuts.
She has been someone a bit more mature, a bit more older. 30. I am surprised at 32. Interesting.
Yeah.
What about Cole? Cole Urban. Cole Urban about...
Carl Urban.
He's got
29.
to be... 29. He's 22. 38. 38. Or 40s, maybe. 38.
He'll love you for that.
He's about 50.
Carl Urban is 52.
I mean, he is looking at... Yeah, I mean,
he
38 was a very generous estimate, but 50... he's looking very good for 50 odd.
And give me Anthony Starr's age. Dear listener, join in. I hope you're shouting out the ages in your car when you're in a commute, whatever you're doing.
It's so boring for anyone listening.
For an episode 8 season finale, here we are just getting rid of the review. We're just guessing the ages of the cast. Go on, Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr, 45.
Oh, bloody hell, you're good. You're good at kind of getting a ballpark, mate. He is 48.
Oh, nicely done. I feel like I want to throw one back to you, mate. Right, what about... Okay. Oh, I know just the one, because this one's quite a hard one, I reckon. Right.
Oh.
Oh,
this is fun, isn't it?
It's-
Literally, I just sat there going, for Christ's sake, I've listened to this episode in the intention to get your thoughts on the episode finale of freaking season 4, and here you are guessing names and ages.
How old do you think is Jesse T. Usher, who plays A-Train?
Ooh, okay. He looks very youthful. But I feel like he's not in his 20s. I'm going to say 31.
31. Is that a final answer?
Yeah, I know it's wrong. This is why you're looking at me there.
32, mate. Not bad at all.
He's 32 as well.
Yeah. There's a cast full of 32-year-olds.
Wow, they've got loads of 32-year-olds.
That's insane. Well, there you go.
Okay, cool. Fair play.
We
Fair
could
play.
do everyone else, but I feel like at that point, we should probably call it a day. But yeah. So at the beginning of it, we have Starlight, we have the shapeshifter, and then obviously later in the episode, Huey then guesses or kind of Huey realizes exactly who she is. She's not the Annie that he fell in love with, and then at that point, there is, because this is the scene with the president is basically really worried that he's under attack. And one of my favourite ever engagements between Mother's Milk and Huey is in this bit where Mother's Milk is like, Huey's trying to tell about Annie, but trying to do it on the sly. And then is just looking straight. And he's like, look over here. Why? Just look in front of you. What? Yeah, but why? What? Annie? And then like, look in front of you.
It is so good.
It's so good. It's so good. And like Huey talking out the side of his mouth. I just love it. I thought it was great bit of comedy there. And then we get Annie versus Annie, like a little fight there. But all in all, we do get our original, our OG Annie back in the end, and all is good with that plot.
And Kimiko's head gets like twisted by shapeshifter Annie. Quite
Kimiko's
horrendously.
Kimiko's death has been teased beyond belief.
It really has.
This series, like there's been lots and lots of moments. It does lead me to believe. Let's go into Kimiko, shall we? Let's talk about Kimiko and Frenchie. They didn't have a massive. I would say Kimiko and Frenchie don't have massive bits in this episode, but then again, I don't think that's necessarily
They have a massive moment. What are you talking about?
But not lots of bits. They have a couple of large bits, really a big dong of a bit, but they don't have a variety of bits and pieces.
Right, I see. Yeah, they do. No, I agree with you. So Frenchie's still like making the virus. MM's kind of pressing him. He's saying he's doing it as fast as he can. It's very much quintessential The Boys, seeing Frenchie in his element.
Do we know that Frenchie is Frenchie supposed to be like some doctor or scientist?
It's kind of like very much played throughout the series that he is a chemist in a way. Like he does lots of that he make that explosive. I think it's in series 2 when they go into the kind of the prison of the soups and stuff. And then he's making something, quite quickly there. We've seen him in that element quite a bit.
The only thing I would raise though is if he's able to do what he's done in this episode potentially, right? As far as I'm aware, we still don't know, right? Butcher's got it at the end of it.
We don't know if it works. Yeah,
we don't know if it works, but theoretically, if he was suddenly able to make it, why have we been waiting? Why have we been on a search for Samir? Because
I think you're right to think that it's like, okay, well, there's a difference between being able to make bombs to be able to then actually, get the right chemicals for the right things in order to create a, huge virus that's going to cause a pandemic potentially. Do you know what I mean?
And I don't think Samir would have left like an instruction manual or ingredients list. Do you know? He's not going to go, oh, do you know what, guys? I know you've de-legged me. You've amputated me, but I'm just going to give you Frenchie, just in case you can, here's the rest of the ingredients, mate. Yeah, it was the only bit that I was a bit like, right, okay. So, okay. It was like the writers had gone, shit, who are we going to actually get to create this now? We got rid of Samir and all of the doctors.
Yeah.
But anyway, by the by, yeah, I suspend my disbelief. But yes.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to, don't we, I suppose, because he does end up claims that he's done it. He claims that he's done it. He's created it. With Kimiko and Frenchie, so obviously we get to a kind of like within the final moments of the episode, they kiss. Kimiko does say that actually I was bothered that you're out with somebody else. I was just trying to hide my feelings to protect my feelings for you, blah blah blah, because I love you, blah blah blah. But it's a different type of love. And then you see them kiss now. What do you think about
that? We see them kiss now.
What was your reaction?
I think I preferred the previous episode before this, where it was very much on a platonic level. And I felt like actually what's nice about a relationship is that it's not a typical romantic relationship, but it is just a very strong female to male platonic relationship. I quite enjoyed that. However, it was kind of always headed this way, right?
I think it was.
It kind of always felt like this was what they wanted to do with it, or were going to do with it. But what about you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like their story arcs are stronger if it was platonic. However, I understand it was leading to it in terms of what was being played in season 4. I'm not like wholeheartedly against it as well. And again, like, okay, and this is another social media thing that kind of irks me. It was like, oh, okay, and all of a sudden Frenchie's not gay. It's like, it's bisexual. There is a thing called bisexual, and that is absolutely fine, and that has got nothing to do. You cannot hate on the series because of something like that. That is ridiculous.
People are there is a lot of social media that are reaching big time. So there is a little bit of, and we haven't actually gone into it. We haven't talked about it for a couple of reasons. Well, we haven't had this discussion, but I haven't brought it to the table because I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm fully educated on it. However, there is the actor behind Frenchie. I don't know if you know about this, but actor behind Frenchie, when he was younger, he was drafted into the military. So he's from Israel. So he's drafted into the IDF, I believe it is. So which you know is the same in any other country where you're drafted into the military at an early age. You have to do your whatever the word is that's escaped my brain.
Service.
Yeah, military service.
Yeah.
So he was drafted in, and now obviously definitely no longer part of the IDF. Moved and now works at blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are saying that production company got a little bit like they've basically summarised that the only reason why they've made Frenchie bisexual was to distract from the knowledge that he was in the Israeli army,
oh my God.
And therefore could be linked to the current Gaza-Israel war. Right? That link is the wildest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
That's bonkers.
And B, why on earth would it be a bisexual storyline would be the thing to get him out of that? Let's not be ridiculous. So just like that's part of the reason I haven't brought it up is we're just casting it aside in the first place. But in relation to what you just mentioned about it being short-lived, a load of bullshit. Like you say, he's bisexual. It doesn't matter if you're whatever you are. He's interested. Of course, he would be with Kimiko.
Yeah,
affairs happen, by the way. So and if you're bisexual, you can have an affair with the opposite sex to the sex that you're having the relationship with, that you're having an affair on, and no one would bat an eyelid in real life if that was the case. So there you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just justified in the story as well. Like we were just saying, it was leading up to it. And yeah, like, but it gives a lot to play with. Particularly, we'll talk about the ending moments at some point. But like, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it might not be everybody's favoured choice to do with Frenchie and Kimiko. It wouldn't be mine in terms of like the fact that I really enjoyed the platonic relationships. We don't have enough of that in pop culture, in TV, in films. It doesn't always have to be a romantic route between a male and a female. I think we need to kind of have that played through a little bit more in today's society as well. But that's just a little thing for me. But yeah, Kimiko's. I mean, Kimiko's season 4 deaths or injuries. I think you're right, mate. Season 5 early doors. I'm going to say it now. Kimiko's going to die.
Yeah, I definitely get on board with that theory. I think we're going to link them back up. I think she can only die if Kimiko and Frenchie are together and get like the boys are reunited.
What
otherwise it would be a bit weird.
Because he's under a spell, isn't he?
Oh, well, I mean that
Kate's done a Katie thing.
That would be heartbreaking stuff, mate. I mean, at this point, I think maybe we just reveal what happened at the end because we're talking about. I think we're talking about specific.
Okay,
we're talking about character plots.
Before we get, there's so much more. This is the other thing. It was absolutely packed. Yeah. There's so much more to talk about before we get to the end.
But we're talking about Frenchie and Kimiko, though, aren't we? So I think it makes sense to bring in her.
Okay, I got you.
Don't you think?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because
I got you.
We're not talking like we've kind of gone later in the episode.
You're at the helm, mate. You're leading the charge, mate. You're in that train. You're in the boys' train, doing the toot toot. I'm just behind it, putting the coal in the fire, mate. You go. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm also excited because this is something that I finally got right. In 120 episodes of this podcast, I said a correct theory. That was, and we had a whole conversation. I was so excited. Was that I believed that Kimiko would speak before the end of this series, and by God, she did.
She did.
What were your thoughts? Because you didn't want it to happen. I remember that.
I didn't want it to happen because I liked the representation. But when it happened, it had to. In order for it to happen, it had to happen at a point of heightened state, and that was the highest that you could go of them being, split up in those final moments. It was justified, so I'm not angry about it. But I'm interested to see how it goes forward. I wonder whether she kind of just does it selectively, and uses her voice selectively, or whether she can't just go straight into full-blown conversations. Who knows? I have to wait and see.
It will be very interesting. It'll be very interesting how they expand on it. I am very intrigued. Yeah. I think for me, it was. I think the reason why I kind of always knew it was going to happen is they've chosen an actor who can speak.
Yes, they did. They did. That's true. Oh,
if you're gonna, sorry, I just coughed, violently coughed there. If you're gonna choose an actor who doesn't is around access and inclusion, if you're not going to choose an actor that is mute, can't speak, or whatever it will, whatever it is, then actually that's what you need to get. That's the only. Yeah, there's a whole conversation about whether you should be recruiting actors that have the thing or have the belief or whatever it is around their character. But I think for disability, it's really important that people with disabilities who are actors are getting these jobs. I'll say that there and there.
Yeah.
So I think if they've chosen an actor who can speak, then for me it kind of made sense that eventually that would be part of the plot, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would liked it. I did the Leonardo DiCaprio bit. I was going. I was like, oh my god. And I just love that actress, mate. I want her to get all of the awards. All of the jobs. I think she's brilliant. She's so good. And I realise I haven't said her name because I don't know the actress's name. So
it's Karen. Is her name Karen?
Karen sounds like Karen. It is Karen. Fukuhara. Karen Fukuhara. But yeah, absolutely love Karen. Please get all the jobs. Please get all the awards. You are sensational. That's all I want to say about that.
My favourite final moment with Frenchie and Kimiko was when Frenchie just finished making the vial. He turns around and they've just had that massive fight with Shapeshifter Annie and everybody. And Frenchie goes, I think it was the most quintessential, the most Boise Boys moment of season 4 for me. And they just look absolutely destroyed. And he goes, I think, what does he say? He just says, what happened to you guys? And then we just kind of pan right to left. And then we get to Kimiko, and Kimiko just waves really happily to see Frenchie. And it's just so good. It was so funny. A brilliant bit of timing.
So good.
Yeah, and based on that one wave, give all the awards to Kimiko. Yeah, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's Kimiko and Frenchie. Now, next on my list is to talk about a very fond friend of ours, Butcher.
Billy Butcher.
Which, by the way,
Billy Butcher.
I've got to say it, Matt put up a reel of the most worst impression I could have ever done of Butcher. And social media ripped it apart, mate. They were having none of it.
They have absolutely ripped it. They were not having any of it.
Don't say anything like Butcher. No, what's this? It's like a crap.
I think the best comment was this was a good Billy Butcher accent if Billy Butcher actually had a British accent.
Yes, yeah, I did see that. That was great.
I think that was on YouTube, that one.
And very apt and probably true. But yes, it was. Butcher. What an episode.
I'd say straight off the bat with the Huey and Butcher phone call at the beginning of the episode where he was talking about say sorry for me to the boys, sort of gives a really gorgeous analogy about something that I can't remember what the story was, but it was wonderful bit of acting. This I've got to give him his flowers. This was his season to really show some character depth. He was already doing a great job in playing something that was really quirky, quite zany, foul-mouthed, out there, funny, but also just fucking brutal at the same time. This season was all about emotional depth for Billy Butcher, and that first scene that he had when you can see him sick as a dog. He is on his death bed, and the way, and again, props to makeup here, because the transformation between him and then what happens later was just night and day. But go on.
Sorry, just the phone call you were talking about. I have some behind the scenes.
Oh, go for it.
Trivia for you, mate. Did you know that Eric, the writer, director, the god of the boys, right? He changed this scene. So because Carl's acting was so good and so emotional, he changed the transitions in these scenes. So originally, that scene was supposed to flip over to Huey far more often during that phone conversation. But because of Carl's acting, they decided to keep it remaining on his face for the duration of that phone call.
Great choice. Brilliant choice. And I think that is the sign of a very good director in the space, to go and notice he's got the acting chops, he's got the capabilities of furthering this story in a way that I didn't first anticipate. And that is brilliant, because then you can really see it. Carl Urban is a iconic actor. Because this is the other thing, is when I see Carl Urban, I don't just see Billy Butcher. I see Lord of the Rings. I see all the other things that he's done, in the past, and he's got such a varied and legendary career. I would say already. So he's up there with the Russell Crowes in my mind. But this was certainly a brilliant episode for him, wasn't it? One of his best.
We get Grace Mallory back.
We do, for about
As
5 minutes.
part of his scenes for 5 minutes before she dies. But yes, we do get Grace Mallory back. There's a very a really delightful feast of scenes, if you will, Matthew, between Grace, Ryan, and Billy. Yeah, just really good pieces of acting from all three actors across the board there. They kind of sandwich Ryan into a situation, but what was quite nice about it is that Grace and Billy had blatantly not had the time and not been able to actually discuss what they were going to do in any great detail. They were just like, this needs to happen, we need to get Ryan, end of. So there was they're playing chess or whatever they're playing, and it's just great, like, I just love it. It's really like they're just looking at each other like, we telling him that? Oh, Grace is just, and you're going to tell him like that?
Yeah.
And we didn't bother actually hiding the fact that this room is fake and just got massive walls in it.
Yeah, that was really cool. When they had Ryan in the room, they're really playing the kind of the tactics around it. And what was great is that you could... So Butcher's mellowed at this point. I mean, he's on his deathbed, so he's just trying to make things right within the potential minutes he has left. And Mallory's just like... No, you need to come with me. This is the safest thing to do. I don't care about Homeland. I don't care about Ryan in terms of what you actually need or want, mate. Can you peacefully just come with us? But just like, mate, if you feel... And he does say it. He says, look, if you feel like being with Homelander makes you feel safe, then stay with Homelander, because all I've got to do is make sure that what Beck has asked me to do is make sure that you are safe. So if you feel safe with Homelander, stay with Homelander. Why are you looking at me like that?
Sorry, Matt. Who did you say?
Sorry, not Becca. Becca!
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks. I was so glad you knew exactly what I meant.
I want me Becca back.
Sorry. McPartlin. And McPartlin? Which one? I don't know. Anyway, Alan Deck. Hey, Judy.
I want me Becca back. Hello, you're Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, if you want to get yourself out of here, mate, you can get away with it. If you... Fucking hell. Ryan, mate. Ryan, I'm on my deathbed, mate. I gotta get out of here, Ryan. I gotta find my Becca. I'm on my deathbed, mate. I'm gonna meet your mum in a minute. Ryan, if you want to get out of here with your fake dad Homelander, you can, mate. I gotta be with Becca. My Becca. My sweet Becca. Becca.
Just gonna let it play out, mate.
Sorry, mate. You let me there. You need to wind me in sometimes, man. Sometimes I just get lost.
It'll get lost in a moment. But yeah, we get all of that play out, which results in Ryan going fucking, mental and killing Grace. Whether it's intentionally or not, I don't think it is intentional. I think he meant to clearly hurt her, but I don't know if he quite... At this point, it's hard to know with Ryan if he knows his true
he
power.
Doesn't know. I think if what was kind of played through in this season, particularly from the beginning... Was it the beginning of this season? It might have been last season. When was his, pretend superhero save day?
I think it was at the beginning of the season, I think.
So obviously he unintentionally pushes that guy so far out to the point that he smashes into a building and dies, just flattens him. Same thing happens here with Mallory. He doesn't know his own strength. And this is the thing. This is my theory for Ryan, if we just got to quickly focus on Ryan, because not much happened with him in this episode other than that. Is that he's now kind of alone. I don't think he's going to go back to Homelander. I think Ryan's going to fucking... either go back to Homelander or he's going to go and find somebody else to be with. Potentially maybe a Maeve. I don't know. I don't know. the thing is that he doesn't know his strengths. He doesn't really know the full capability of his powers. We're going to see that get played out early doors, season 5, and I honestly think Ryan is going to be a dangerous character, a dangerous person within this who could potentially, I think, create more damage than Homelander. And I wonder, actually, instead of it becoming a Butcher versus Homelander finale, we might still get that, but maybe the repercussions of that, because it happened in the ending of season 2 when they kind of briefly were like, let's stop fighting, we need to sort out Ryan because Soldier Boy's trying to kill Ryan. Maybe they just kind of like go, no, look, we need to stop this because Ryan's about to self-destruct, or he's just like, he's about to destroy the whole world, or he's accidentally gonna, blow up whatever it might be. Like, I think they're gonna try and maybe do something like that. Yep. Maybe, potentially, I don't know, but he looks dangerous, mate. He's honestly, I think he's gonna cause some trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. The flip side, and the boring, logical side to me, we were doing the ages of actors earlier.
Yeah.
How old is Ryan?
In real life?
Yeah.
The actor? I'd say he's probably about 13.
Because, do you think he's 13? No, he's older than that, mate.
All American kids look older than they are.
All American kids. Nicholas Crovetti. Oh no, is that the newest one? Yeah. No, he's 16, mate. 13.
16?
He's 16 years old, yeah. So I am right in thinking, I think he isn't going to have a massive role because he will be going through his GCSEs and he's going to be one of these
America, mate. They don't do those, do they?
Well, they have exams, I would have thought, right?
He's going to be doing his GCSEs because he can.
But what tends to happen is actors of that age do all of their education, do all their qualifications, and then can't take part. So I don't know if he will be a massive role, mate. I think he's going to have a huge role in episode 1, but I'm going to throw it out there. I think Ryan's going to die early doors, mate.
What do you think, dear listener? Do let us know. That's a really good thing to put out there to everybody. What do you think's in store for Ryan season 5?
Or because of Gen V series 2, are we going to get a time jump so they can recast Ryan to an older Ryan?
Maybe they just shove him in Godolphin. Go to uni, mate.
Go to uni. So, but let's go back to Butcher. Let's finish off Butcher because after this, Butcher decides enough is enough. I've seen this shit, mate. I'm serious. I've got Negan laying it into me every 5 minutes. Ain't that right? Ain't it right? I want Negan. And he just decides to lend into the darker side, right?
Mate, so the bit where he lets Joe Kessler take over, he kind of like, it all kind of just, we don't see it happen. This is the other thing. I'd be so interested to see how that happens. Is he just walk into the body and it becomes him? I don't know. But like, yeah, we get these tentacles that just fly out of Butcher. And mate, what in the Stranger Things was that moment? Because it was nothing but Stranger Things, mate. Yeah. That's all it was. It was great.
Yeah, Stranger Things and Venom in one scene, wasn't it, basically?
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was great to see the boys' reaction to all of that. And then finally, after having Grace Mallory die, which was already a reasonable character, for the first time in what feels like 4 seasons but isn't, we actually have a big character death. Matt,
here we do. Yeah.
Victoria Newman is no more.
It's just ripped in half with ease.
ripped in half. Now, there is a lot of people online that believe that might not be the last we see of her. If she gets ripped in half and she comes back, then the boys really is starting to get on my wick.
I think that's her gone, mate. I really liked how the tentacles wrapped their tentacle around the eyes. They kind of just completely nulled her from it. But it was the shaking. It was the kind of trying to get away, trying to break it free, and it was just that easy rip, and just again shows the strength of what this now, let's call him Primer Butcher, is, and what it could do, and what kind of powers this person. I don't know what this thing that's inside him has for that then to be used on Homelander going forward. Be interested to see what happens. But the thing is that all I could see is like, oh, okay, so he looks like a mind flayer. Like, it just feels very Stranger Things. So they've just got to kind of be careful with that. I think they've got to kind of make that work within the realm, because it's just so, the way that those tentacles came out just literally just looks like what happens with Vecna and stuff. So it's just, it's got to be done in a way that works for them.
Yeah, or Butcher's going to be in the final series of Stranger Things. So, and what a crossover!
That's what they'll announce in about a week's time.
That's what Gen V2 is. It's actually the last series of Stranger Things.
Well, there is a new series, of Stranger Things that's coming out. It's being filmed at the moment.
I mean, could you imagine? There's like just comic based like film TV fans out there.
Oh my god!
If they announce Gen V2 is the last series of Stranger Things. The last series. Like, this is like a full on crossover. Like, if the world would go nuts, right? It'd be like, what?
It would burn down. Hollywood Capital would go down.
Outrageously good. But yes, we do have that. And then, which leads us really nicely, Matt, because we talked about Newman. So now we have to talk about a character who doesn't feature a lot, but is actually prime character for what is going to be coming next, and that's Homelander, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
We get very few Homelander scenes, but Homelander, we've got to talk about Homelander, Firecracker, and Sage. Three massive characters that are going to have a lot of potential for next series, but didn't necessarily feature much in this episode.
I'm surprised that both of them are still around. I think we very much theorized, that either of them would have gone in this season. But no, I think Firecracker's got the flu from taking all these meds, and again, but yeah, what do you think about that? Because
it feels like they're alluding very much that she will be the first to die, right? She's got to go. She's got to be an easy pickings. Yeah. I think there is a fantastic meme going around where when Homelander first reacts to Firecracker and she's like coughing and he looks at her his face is so malleable. It's hilarious. His facial expression is so disgusted, and people are saying that's basically what everybody was like in COVID. If someone coughed next to you, you're like, oh,
like that side eye that he gives, it's just on point. Yeah, what a brilliant reaction.
It's so funny. And so Firecracker, that's not much to her in this episode, which is why it kind of feels like she's just hanging around to be
waiting for a moment.
One of the first ones to die, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Homelander is, still carrying on that kind of isolating himself, making himself, disliked by as many different people as possible. And Sage, it's all about Sage. But before we carry on this conversation, for anyone who didn't hear in the first part of the episode, Matt's kids have got to go to school, which is why in the background you can hear a lovely breakfast scene where Rachel's clearly in the kitchen. So just in case people are listening, going, are one of them just like creating their breakfast during this conversation, or just someone preparing?
I would love to right now.
Oh yeah, I know. Tell us about Sage, Matt. What's your
So my theories with Sage is that Sage is kind of like injected herself back into Homelander's kind of view. it feels like, if we're looking at the ending, that she was like, this was all part of the plan. So Newman Dunn, yeah, all part of the plan. Yeah, no, you're going to take over this. You're going to now be like, Marshal of America. And this is part of the biggest thing. Now, I feel like instead of Sister Sage being another pawn in Homelander's journey, it was somebody that might die, I think we have got the potential here of Sister Sage actually being like the final boss of this. She is the puppet. Sorry, no, she's not the puppet. She is the puppet master, and Homelander's actually unnoticingly actually a puppet within this. I think there could potentially be a turn on Homelander from Sage's point of view in season 5. I think that might backfire for her, but I think we could see it.
I think Sage is going to link Maeve and A-Train, and she is the mastermind behind what we alluded to earlier, which was about Maeve and A-Train possibly working together. I think Sage has got a little.
Do you think it'll be like a double cross?
Avengers like style team in the background waiting.
I love that.
So because also there's a couple of people who've picked up on. I haven't gone back and really looked at this, but I've seen a couple of comments that apparently a couple of times during the series, you can see that Sage is writing in Maeve's notebook.
Yes, that is Maeve's notebook.
She's using Maeve's notebook, and people seem to think that this is like the writers are just or directors carefully aligning the dots, that actually she's a little bit more connected. And also, wouldn't that be like quite cool from a female perspective if you got Maeve and Sage just fucking going at it? Like, would be insane.
I actually love that. So Sister Sage potentially double crossing Homelander, and she's actually planning this double cross since day dot. I love that. That's great.
That's the viewpoint. That's the view I've got going on there. I think all of these massive plots, there's loads of stuff online about what happens in the comics, and I don't know about you, Matt, but I have decided I am going to read the comics before the last season, not because I want to kind of prelude what might happen, because I don't think, I would be very surprised if Eric writes a final series which is based on what happened in the comics. Then there'll be allusions to it. There was a mention of the White House by Homelander. Homelander is up there with, almost being president himself. So it is kind of parallel. But I think I'd be very surprised if they're going to bore comic fans by just regurgitating what happens in the comics.
Yeah, completely.
But
I mean, in terms of like moving on, let's talk about that final sequence. So
you're all right, my friend?
Oh my days. Okay, so not only was this final sequence absolutely epic, so we kind of like see Homelander with now the new president-elect effectively going like, look, I may be president, but this is going to be completely marshaled by Homelander, which is something that hasn't happened for like a century, or maybe for an American, in terms of like American politics and stuff like that, something like that. We've got now Homelander holding the reins of a whole country, which is dangerous in its own right. And then we see with that news, the boys then just kind of handing over passports and kind of splitting up, going, right, we need to split off and plan what's our next attack, basically. And they all go off in their own directions, and we're all thinking, actually, do you know what? This might be the best of them. I genuinely, for some reason, I genuinely thought, oh yeah, no, this is going to be nice. Yeah, we'll get some nice like Europe scenes, all that kind of stuff out of the kind of guise and colour palette of the boys at the moment. But no, it all goes tits up because Homelander's got all the soups to trap them, to make sure that they accost them before they get away. And this is all backed with the underscore of one of my favourite songs of all time, which is Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box. And I honestly couldn't think of a more perfect song I mean, it's quite ironic because I've been deliberately, I don't know if you know, dear listener, I've been deliberately choosing songs by Rage Against the Machine in our post announcements for our episodes throughout this whole journey of us going through The Boys. And then they decide to play Nirvana. And I'm like, of course it's Nirvana. Of course it's Nirvana. What a song, what a moment. I think one of my favourite moments was when they not only split up Kimiko and Frenchie, and then the reveal of Kate and Sam. Ooh, the reveal of Kate and Sam doing it. Oh my God, why Sam, man? Like, come on, dude, you're better than that. But honestly, in terms of the character arc that we saw in Gen V, when we've reviewed Gen V, dear listeners, do make sure you check that out. I think that was a month ago now, on a Friday episode. But like, Sam is just following the herd. Sam is just being. He's also very much under the influence of Kate and stuff. And it just feels like this. We've got to either we'll see Kate and Sam in series 2 of Gen V, but we've now got to see those characters speaking more in season 5. They've got to be now included in the 7. We're now down several members of the 7. Homelander's got to kind of sort that out, so we need to kind of make sure that we've got new members of the 7. When Kimiko and Frenchie get away, then that's where Kimiko does her voice. That's all very sad. Frenchie's now under the spell of Kate, but the Huey and Starlight split up I found quite interesting. Is that that character from the episode that we were just talking about, where Frenchie was cooking up something with was it Lamplighter in the cell thing? That character doesn't actually get Starlight. Starlight runs away. She flies away, even with her powers as well. So her powers start, they kick off in a big way. So when she does need to use them, they do work. So now Huey, Starlight is split up, Frenchie's Kimiko split up, and then just gets bitch slapped with a massive penis.
Has been so unlucky with a penis. He was unlucky in the sex orgy episode. He was unlucky when they went to the hospital and he got whacked by the big penis. And now the penis strikes again.
Poor guy.
Penis strikes back. We've got a whole Star Wars trilogy of penis moments there.
We really do.
Yeah, it's insane. Poor He gets wrapped. He gets taken. He's gone.
It's gone.
So yeah, we've got the boys are in jeopardy. We've got Homelander at the top, and we've also got a familiar face back.
Oh, we do. So we get like this. It's like an end credit thing, It's like, they're very much taking the thing out of the guys at the MCU here, because I almost missed it because I was so excited about Sam and Kate and all that kind of stuff. I almost walked away from the TV. But yeah, Homelander is then led to an underground bunker where they have been keeping a certain Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy. I sounded like Stifler's mum then. Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy's in the underground bunker. Wow. Oh no, I'm Owen Wilson now. Wow. Soldier Boy's in the underground bunker. Wow.
Sorry,
go on.
I love Matt at the best of times, but Matt before 9 a.m. is just beautiful. Beautiful television. It's yes, we get Soldier Boy back. Is Soldier Boy a season 5 thing? Is Soldier Boy a Gen V series 2 thing? Or is Soldier Boy a spin-off thing?
Soldier Boy's a season 5 thing, mate.
I don't think so, Matt.
Nah.
Because why? But to what purpose, mate?
So Homelander's down superheroes that are actually reliable, and I think Homelander can actually feel like that he could probably turn his real life father. And this is the other thing. Homelander's arc is that all he wants is family. That is all he wants, really, underneath it all. And he's just doing the wrong thing about it. He wants his daddy. He's going to get his daddy next to him. They're going to be like a power family thing, and then something might go wrong.
I think what's going to actually happen is that
Bins are out.
Yeah, bins are out.
Yeah, the world's waking up, everyone.
World's
We've
waking
literally
up
done this
behind us.
Yeah.
We started at 7 a.m. and there was a couple of people around, and now it's 8:15 and it's gone mad outside. But I think what's going to happen is season 5, Homelander will come and visit Soldier Boy in his little cabin. He'll talk to him, like he'll be like, you know, try and like those type of scenes where he tries to get guidance out of him, even though Soldier Boy can't talk to him. Blah blah blah. Then Homelander will die at the end of the season. Then we're gonna get like another mid-credit scene or whatever, where it's gonna be that president, or maybe it's Sage, or or not. Well, it won't be Sage. Someone from Homelander's side who is like, shit. Okay, we need someone to be able to fight against Sage or the boys or whatever. Is then gonna walk downstairs to Soldier Boy, and they're gonna go, "It's time to wake up."
Oh.
End of the scene. Announcement of Soldier Boy spin-off. That's what I think.
Oh, that's. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it because I think Jensen Ackles is banging, mate.
I think they've just got to be careful, Matt, because if they bring him for season 5, we can't bulk the season up too much with too many people, and B, like we can't have Soldier Boy overshadow Homelander. So. Yeah. And I think they've got to be quite careful. And that's actually one of the things that I thought about this episode, right? One of my favourite things about this episode is finally they let scenes actually land. So we've spent too much of this series. The directors have just like we need to just settle on a few scenes. It's like bang, 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 and we never actually get to just sit in a scene and enjoy the moment. And that's what I'm worried about. The more we stack up season 5, the more we're going to bring that style of presentation back, which I didn't like, and we didn't have that in season 1 either. Season 1 of The Boys was very much like, you know, your bog standard. Let's enjoy a whole scene. So I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. But my God, mate, like what an ending to season 4 on what was a rocky start. But like, mate, we've been on a journey with The Boys for over a month now, and that has concluded our season 4 journey and The Boys journey until season 5, which is estimated to come out in 2026. I think you and I should do a separate episode on what we think might be happening in season 5. Maybe just kind of get some theories up at some point. But mate, we haven't done this yet. What rating are you going to give this?
I am going to give... Is this for the whole series?
For the whole series.
Whole season, I would give... I'm going to go for a bag of... I'm going to go for a bag, like a mix of different flavour Walkers. So it's going to be a Walker's multi-pack. And I'm going to go that it's half full. And I know that's controversial, but there were some bad moments in this season. It wasn't a great season, in all honesty. It was far too many things going on. Sometimes we had a lot of the deep and black noir scenes, which I'm sorry was shit. There was a lot of crap, unnecessary crap in there. But there was some absolute golden TV moments in there as well. So
100%. 100%. I'm not going to give a flavour, but like I think the analogy of the crisp rating here is that whatever crisp packet you've got, whatever flavour it is, but the flavour becomes more intense as you get to the bottom of the packet, you know, and sometimes you just get the flavour that's just left at the bottom, so it gets like proper like impactful, it punches you in the face. You see what I mean?
Starts off like a pot noodle.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. So, dear listener, I mean, thank you so much for listening to the episode. That is The Boys. What The Boys has done. Wow, what a journey. Give us your thoughts. Let us know. We do want to read these things out. We want to. We haven't received a little email from Bob from Belgium in a while. Bob, are you listening? Just a little email,
come on, mate.
Come on. Don't Be a Hero Podcast at gmail.com, or follow us on Instagram, on YouTube. Don't Be a Hero Podcast. We're doing loads of YouTube's content at the moment and we're really building up an audience there, which is fantastic. So join the ride there. we've uploaded this week. There won't be a Friday episode. There won't be an episode next week. We're going to give ourselves a little summer break for the week, which is probably the worst week because we've got San Diego Comic-Con and a certain release of Deadpool and Wolverine.
So I think when we say we're giving ourselves a week, I can almost guarantee there might be a Friday episode.
Yeah,
we might do because this coming Saturday is going to be San Diego Comic-Con, where the leaked potential announcements that are coming out are fairly colossal. So I think between that and Deadpool and Wolverine, it'd be daft for us to go completely silent. But yeah, we definitely won't have a typical Wednesday episode, put it that way. But we'll stay tuned. We'll see what we can do.
So we are aiming, and again we are aiming. That's what I'm saying, dear listener. We are aiming to come back for a Friday episode on August the 2nd, and we'll carry on from there. And we've got some serious stuff to go through. So I was so excited. Sorry. The other thing I was going to say, if you haven't listened to already, we had an interview episode with Extra Man, the people of Kindred Comics. It's an awesome interview episode. If you haven't listened to it, please check it out. We've got more interview episodes coming up, more reviews coming for you, the dear listener. Appreciate your face so much. All right.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Kisses. Bye now.